Welcome to October 21st, 2025 City Council meeting, 6:30 p.m. in City Council Chamber. I'll start with the prayer. Dear God, today's session opens. We pray that your presence will be before us and everyone who serves in the decision-making process of our city. We pray for direction to lead our city to be strong and unified. May we continue the legacy of our founders. May we grant this day the wisdom to make decisions which will be for the good of our city. We also pray for your special blessing on all those who are working to transform our city, make it a better place to live and work. Amen. Salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counsel Yem.
Here.
Counsel Belanger.
Here.
Counsel Chow.
Here.
Counsel Dakota.
Here.
Counsel Gitchia.
Here.
Counsel Janess.
Here.
Counsel Mercier.
Here.
Counsel Noon.
Here.
Counsel Robinson.
Here.
Mayor O'Rourke.
Here.
Counsel Scott.
Here.
11 present.
Council Chow.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tonight, I would like to do a moment of silence in honor of my dear friends, Mother Lisa and Sarah. She's one of the co-founders of the Lowell Youth Leadership Program here in Lowell. It's my honor to read this memorial in honor of her mom. Tonight, we pause in Docken Chamber to honor the memory of Yvette and Sarah, who passed away peacefully on September 24th at the age of 93. Yvette was born in the village of Aita al-Fukar in Lebanon in 1932. She was the first of her siblings to emigrate to the United States, settling here in Lowell, a city that would become her lifelong home, and one she helped shape through quiet strength and unwavering dedication. She worked for many years at Lowell Lingerie, raising her family and supporting her late husband, Andrew and Sarah, a well-known public servant in Lowell. And Mr. and Sarah, the late Mr. and Sarah, one of the leader that's not a mayor that had a plaque right here next on this floor, along with all the other mayors in the past. Together, they built a home on Arlington Street in the acre that became a welcoming space for countless immigrants, neighbors, and friends, a true community hub for the Lebanese and Syrian families of Lowell. Yvette lived a life full of faith, family, and tradition. She was a devoted member of St. George Antiochian Orthodox Church, where she served in the Ladies' Society, sang in a choir, and lovingly baked the holy bread for communion. In her later years, she became an unexpected local celebrity through her video series, Cooking with Cito Yvette, where she shared her culinary gifts and Lebanese recipes with warmth, humor, and love. Above all, Yvette's greatest joy was her family. She leaves behind a beautiful legacy in her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, many of whom remain part of our great Lowell community, including her daughter, my dear friend Lisa and Sarah. Yvette and Sarah embody the very best of our society: courage, hospitality, generosity, and deep-rooted love for family and community. May her memory be eternal. Thank you.
Council Robinson.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I'd like to read obituary for a gentleman that impacted Lowell in many ways, and Mr. Mark Karen. Mark J. Karen, 63, passed away unexpectedly in his home October 18, 2025. He leaves his loving partner, Carrie Nault of Warren, his beloved friend and ex-wife, Cynthia Keene of Southbridge, his daughters, Alexandria M. Karen, and her long-term partner, Nicholas Biebel of Southbridge, and Cole A. Guerin, and her husband, Matthew of Holland. His sons, Ken Karen of Northampton and Michael Agbotoko of Revere. His mother, Ann L. Williams of Wales. Sister, Nancy E. Karen of Covington, Georgia. Brother, Jeffrey A. Blake, and his long-term partner, Jessica of Oxford, Georgia. Stepdaughters, Olivia Tatro of Ware, Caitlin Nault, and Emma Nault of Warren. Grandchildren, Kaylin Jade and Natalie Paisley and Exaze, who lovingly referred to him as G-Pop. Mark was predeceased by his stepfather, Robert J. Williams, in 2001. Mark was born in Springfield, the son of Michael J. Karen and Ann L. Wiley Williams, Growing up, he was an active, kind, and giving young man, friend, brother, and son. He attended Wales Elementary School and went to Tantasqua High School, where he played basketball. After high school, he attended Springfield College and was a lifelong entrepreneur and advocate. He entered local politics in Southbridge in the 1990s. From 1999 to 2007, he served the 6th Worcester District in the Massachusetts House of Representatives. After leaving office, he continued serving the people through his participation on many boards for local nonprofits and committees. Mark never met a stranger. Everyone encountered quickly became a friend. His legacy will live on in the countless lives he brightened, the communities he strengthened, and the family and friends who loved him deeply. He had a special gift of making people feel seen, valued, and loved, whether he had known you for a lifetime or only a moment. Mark truly loved every soul he met, living out the belief that everyone's a child of God. He knew everyone as a brother and a sister in Christ. Everyone who knew him felt blessed and thankful to have him in their lives. He knew Jesus and is now home in the eternal kingdom. May he rest in peace. Mr. Karen has owned Winning Campaign Strategies and was instrumental in advice and the creation of all kind of print materials for an array of people that were engaged, and he'll definitely be missed, his friendship. Thank you.
Councilor Belanger.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to do a moment of silence in darkened chambers for an outstanding Lowell resident, Molly Sheehy. Molly Sheehy, beloved wife of the late Paul Sheehy, passed away at her home in Lowell on Sunday, October 12th, 2025. Born Maureen Helena Gleason on May 7th, 1938, she was the daughter of late Florence Gleason, Charlton, and Paul Gleason. Within days of her birth, her grandmother, Helena Trapp, bestowed upon her the name Molly, and she has forever been Molly to all who have known and loved her. Raised and educated in Barica, Molly attended Lowell State Teachers College, where she met her husband, Paul. They married shortly after her granddaughter in June 1960. Molly later earned both a master's degree from the University of Lowell and a doctorate from the University of Massachusetts Lowell, and prided herself on her status as Triple Riverhawk. For over 5 decades, Molly dedicated her professional life to education, in the classroom, as an administrator, and as a leader. After teaching for many years in both Barica and the Lowell Public Schools, in 1987, Molly was the first employee of the newly established Middlesex Community College, Lowell campus, retiring as dean in 2014. During her career at Middlesex Community College, one of her proudest achievements was the establishment of the Wider Horizons program, a unique extension of the Irish Peace Initiative that throughout together young teachers in training from 4 institutions in North and South of Ireland to live and study in the United States for 6 summer weeks of engagement in multicultural education programs designated to assist Lowell elementary and middle school students bridge gaps in their education. At Middlesex Community College, Molly also spearheaded projects and supported partnerships with the Lowell Public Schools. Through her efforts, thousands of students have benefited from educational support programs that encourage higher education. She also served on the University of Lowell Board of Trustees, the University of Lowell Building Authority, and on the advisory board of the University of Massachusetts Lowell Graduate School of Education. Molly lived a life rich in family, friendship, service, and purpose. She was deeply devoted to her husband, Paul, and with their many travels to Ireland with family and dear friends were among the happiest times of her life. She was immensely proud of the accomplishments and achievements of her children and grandchildren, and delighted in the success of her children and all of their friends. Molly and Paul's home in Seabrook was a place where all were welcome, and many 4th of July and other good times were celebrated. Her grandchildren and are heartbroken by the loss of Molly, their biggest fan. Molly is survived by her children, Tim Sheehy and her partner, Kathy Masterson of Dracut, Maria Sheehy of Lowell, Ann Sheehy of Newbury, and Elizabeth Sheehy and her partner, Chun Lee of Lowell, and 7 grandchildren. Molly will be sadly missed. She was probably the most strongest, beautiful woman I ever met in my life, and she'll forever impact my life and many life of others. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Council. Mr. Clerk, please document the chamber. May they all rest in peace. Section 2, Mayor's Business 2.1, Communication, Remote, Zoom Participation. Motion to accept the place on file by Council Belanger, second by Council Chow. All in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 2.2, we have a recognition this evening for Mill City Weather. As everybody knows, they've been around for 15 years now. Come on up to the podium, please. Official citation by the City of Lowell, Commonwealth, Massachusetts, to hereby offer our sincerest congratulations to Mill City Weather in recognition of more than a decade providing reliable weather forecasts, school closures, and parking bans in the Merrimack Valley region. Founded in 2010 by Sean Kelly, Mill City Weather has become the Merrimack Valley's most trusted source for accurate, hyper-local weather updates. What began as a personal passion project has evolved into an invaluable community resource followed by over 31,000 residents across the region. As the city celebrates this milestone, we acknowledge your dedication to public service and your continued contributions to our community's safety and well-being. Whether it's sunshine or nor'easter, Mill City Weather exemplifies a spirit of reliability, innovation, and community pride that defines the Merrimack Valley. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Daniel P. Rourke, on behalf of the entire City Council and residents of Lowell, hereby extend our deepest appreciation, and we are proud to honor and recognize Mill City Weather for its many years of service to the Lowell community and the Merrimack Valley region, given the 21st day of October, 2025.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. On behalf of Mill City Weather, I'm honored to accept this proclamation, celebrating 15 years now. We are continuing to keep the community informed, of course. From winter storms to our summer sunsets, we've been proud to serve the Merrimack Valley with an accurate local coverage that people can count on. We keep growing, and it's really important for us, to provide that service to the Merrimack Valley, especially the Lowell area. We're really honored, and it means a lot to me, Justin, my family. So thank you very much. And
Why don't you give out your social media stuff?
yes, we're all over Facebook, Twitter, OX, I guess you call it, millcityweather.com. So thank you very much.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Congratulations.
it very much. Thank you. Thank you. Sit down.
Section 3, City Clerk 3.1, minutes of the City Council regular meeting, October 14th, 2025, for acceptance. Motion by Council Dakota, second by Council Gitche. All in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. General public hearings, you wait until 7 p.m. Moving on to the City Council motions. 5.1, Council Belanger. Request City Manager to have Transportation Engineer explore additional speed bumps on Douglas Road from Guardrail to College Stadium. Second by Council Noon. Council Belanger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before I discuss about the parameters of the motion, I would like to take this time to once again highlight the great work that's been done on Douglas Road. The residents there are extremely, extremely happy. You know, I'm not going to be in this seat come January, but whenever I drive down Douglas Road, it's going to be with a lot of pride and gratitude that I'd like to express to the administration for their cooperation, and also my colleagues who made it possible. I couldn't accomplish that goal without them. And I think there's a lot of public good that's going to result as a result of the great work that was done on Douglas Road, where all sidewalks are going to be concrete. And so we set a citywide precedent on that project. And I'd also like to thank DPD for the great work there. The Riley School Playground is coming around tremendous. Parents tell me every time they drive by, "Ma, Dad, when's it going to be ready? When's it going to be ready?" So some great excitement in that neighborhood, let me tell you, and I'm glad I was able to play a role in my short tenure. But with that being said, despite all this good work, a little more is being asked. So between the guardrail, as you come from Andover Street to Colley Stadium, a couple of residents have reached out to me and said, "Geez, we'd like one of those if possible." I said, "Well, I will do my best, but be careful what you wish for. If it ends up in front of your house, that could happen too. It's the engineers who determine where they go, not city councilors." But I said I would put it on the agenda for them, for the next councilor-elect to work with on this initiative. But again, thank you to all my colleagues for making that possible, and to the administration, DPD. I just want to express gratitude on that great project. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 5.2, Council Pelagia, request city manager provide an update on the Bartlett School project, including upgrades on the Clare Street parking lot. Seconded by Council Yem. Council Pelagia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This comes from, we had a Disability Commission meeting last week, and those folks apparently are still work there that needs to be done. And with chairlifts in the schools, some handicap spaces that were supposed to be complete in 2025. It's a sizable project, and understandable, it may not have been complete. So looking for a report for the Disability Commission, as well as the students there. It's a epicenter for a high number of handicap and special needs students, which is very important. So looking for an update there as soon as possible, Mr. Manager, if you could put it on your, make it a priority. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through the council. Not to answer this motion at this time, but I do know that this has been a priority of everyone over the Bartlett School. It is a pretty big project, as you had mentioned. We will be looking at new mechanical feeds to the building, retaining walls, the parking lots on both sides, but we'll make sure I get you a time frame on that in the next couple of weeks to find out when that's going to happen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manager.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 5.3, Council Pelagia, request city manager work the private department to include additional crosswalks in the 2026 Andover Street project. Seconded by Councilor Robinson. Councilor Belanger.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, we all know the 2026 now Andover Street project's been on many people's radars in the district, a lot of conversation. So I still get calls, and as of late, a few people reached out about additional crosswalks. The street's very dangerous, so they would like this incorporated in. It's something we'd have to do on the city side, as the Mass DOT will not, that's not part of their plan, as much as they're funding this project. So on the city side, we need to come up with some safer traffic calming measures, which has been expressed by many residents on the street. So please keep that in consideration as we go forward. Mr. Manager, to the traffic engineer, that this is really being looked at by the residents, and anything we can do for traffic calming measures especially is really necessary in this project. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 5.4, Council Scott, request the city manager and the appropriate department implement traffic calming measures on Central, Stavely, Almond, Delmont, Manchester, Bowden, and Strongford streets. Anything else? Any other streets you want to add in South Lowell? No? Seconded by Council Mercia. Council Scott.
I would add more, but these are the ones that I hear about more than any others. So, just frequent concerns about the walkability on these streets. If you walk down them, I've walked down them myself. It's almost impossible to even cross the street. The cars just flying so fast down them. So I know we can't put speed bumps on every street, but looking at traffic enforcement on these particular streets would be appreciated. Thank you.
Council Janess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks to my colleague for bringing this forward. She mentioned Central Street, so I just wanted to call out again. I think we could use some bump outs and daylighting for the crosswalks on Central Street between, say, Market and Middlesex. some of those, that's a pretty high-speed stretch with some multiple lanes, and I think it could benefit from slimming that road down a little bit and making it easier for people to cross the street. Thank you.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 5.5, Council Scott. Request city manager to provide the council with an update on the status of the culvert work on Barica Street. Second by Councilor Gittia. Councilor Scott.
Motion speaks for itself.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 5.6, Councilor Scott and Dakota. Request the city manager work with the appropriate city departments and stakeholders to develop and implement a monthly parking garage permit program for the downtown businesses. No second needed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, just waiting for a response on it. We've heard from businesses, again, about how it's a real hardship for them with the employees and just going in and out, running errands and everything like that, that the meter parking isn't working for them. Thank you.
Councilor Dakota, all set. Mr. Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through the council. Councils, we just adopted the parking ordinance, which is going to give us a little bit more flexibility to try different things in different areas. We did have this discussion just the other day as to how to accomplish this in the downtown area. There's plans to meet with, to talk with Councilor Janess to go to the downtown business folks, et cetera, to have these discussions about going from 2 hours to 3 hours to 4 hours, as well as monthly passes, now that we have a little bit more flexibility. I will probably have to come back to you, to the council, to see if we have options for roof parking and things of that nature to knock off some of the pricing. A lot of our roofs in the downtown area are not utilized. So we are looking at different options now that we have a little bit more flexibility to try to move forward in a faster fashion. Once again, for the edification of the citizens, any of changes to finances will be approved by the council, but it gives us a little bit more flexibility and to try to create programming and things like that that I think could make a difference in every district, quite frankly. But before we make any of those decisions, district councilors as well as citywide councils will be notified to have those discussions and kind of socialize it through, the residents, the business owners, et cetera. So pretty excited to move forward on projects such as this.
Councilor Janess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just tangentially related to this, we'd had the EV parking ordinance, the charging time limits. It came to us and we had sent it back for some review. We haven't seen that in a while. I was wondering if I could just ask on the status of that.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you very much, Council, and thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through the Council. That's exactly what we'll be bringing that back. That pricing will also come back before the Council. So we are looking at that. I know that I've spoken with our energy folks, just for the edification, once again, of the citizens at home. When we first received that, those charging stations, I don't believe we were allowed to charge anything. They're trying to encourage people. So we're just catching up with the times to have the ability to charge folks, and we'll make sure that's a fair price for folks, especially in the downtown area. And Councilor, you did mention to me about the overnight parking, et cetera. We need to update it, I guess, would be the best way to say it.
Okay. Look forward to seeing that coming back. I did have a question the past couple of days around that. I don't know if there's a way to work it into this ordinance or if we need to think about a different way to do it, but the chargers in the Roy garage are used almost all the time. Every time I'm in there, almost every charging spot is full. Some of the residents have expressed to me it would be great if they were able to also utilize the Hamilton Canal garage in that situation. If all the chargers are full, just as like an overflow option, there's more chargers there that are way less utilized than the ones in the Roy garage. So I don't know if we can address that as possibly create some kind of, joint pass if you have an EV and you could go in the other garage if you need to. But just wanted to put it out there.
Once again, Council, a great idea, and this is going to give us flexibility to try to do that. So that's a great thought on that one.
Thank you.
Councilor Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank my colleagues for this. This is a great motion. As a former downtown businessman, it makes a lot of sense because, if you go out to dine, wine and dine, so to speak, you may go out 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. However, cooks, wait staff, managers, owners get there far earlier than that and gobble up all the parking on the street. And it's understandable. It may be a slow night. They may not make money. So parking costs money. If we can get them off the street into the garages, the better off the local economy is going to do. In my opinion, we should open, I know the enterprise fund, we have some challenges there. We're in the red approximately $2.5 million a year. I understand that. But in my opinion, we should just open them up Friday and Saturday night, no overnight parking, get all staff, employees in the garages as well as patrons. They feel safer in there. There'll be no cost associated with parking. There's just too much competition out there for restaurants that have their own parking. So we need to become as parking friendly as humanly possible down there and change the whole culture in order to get our residents to come down. I think it starts with parking. So, Mr. Manager, I'd like to see you work on this and come up with a strong initiative to help get these people off the street that cars just sit all night, get them in the garage, and I think we're going to be a lot better off. Thank you very much.
Councilor Robinson?
No, thank
I
you.
thought you had a
Nope.
question. No, I apologize. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
can I please make a motion to take 7.1 out of order?
By Councilor Robinson, second by Councilor Young, take 7.1 out of order. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 7.1 is a vote from the city manager to accept a gift of $2,284.22 from the Bowden Shillcross family. Thank you. A vote authorizing the city manager on behalf of the city of Lowell to accept a gift of $2,284.22 from the Bowden Shillcross family to cover the costs associated with a memorial bench. We need a motion to adopt by Councilor Robinson, second by Councilor Yem. Questions or comments?
I know the family is present. I don't know if they'd like to say a couple words about this. If not, fine, it's up to them.
Yeah. Councilor Robinson, want to take a roll call first and then allow them to speak? Want to do that?
Perfect.
Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Counsel Yem. Counsel Belanger.
Yes.
Counsel Chow.
Yes.
Counsel Dakota.
Yes.
Counsel Getchia.
Yes.
Counsel Janess.
Yes.
Counsel Mercia.
Yes, and
Counsel-
thank you.
Counsel Noom.
Yes.
Counsel Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor Rourke.
Yes.
Counsel Scott.
Yes.
11 yeas.
Sir, floor is yours.
Excuse me, thank you all for being here. You're working second shift here. It's so dark out, and I'm just a citizen, and I want to say I appreciate it. You know, it's not easy. I'm from Lowell all my life, and my mother was a music teacher in Lowell, and she taught at the Joseph Pine School, and then she taught downtown at the Arts Magnet School, where she led the music program. And of course, now it's together at the Joseph G. Pine School. So she passed away, and she was also 93. She also went to Lowell State, and we thought, as a family, that it might be good. Why not have a tribute to our music teachers? You know, it's part of the glue of our family, and probably your family too, and the city. And we probably don't know what our four music fathers, who they were, but we probably share them, you know, because one person teaches another and teaches another. And to us, it's just so important. So I want to thank the two Corys for helping out and bringing it before the city council. And that's all I get to say. Thank you very much.
What's your name, sir? And your name, sir?
My name is Russell Bowden.
Mr.
Yeah,
Bowden,
I'm over in Centerville.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Returning to the general public hearings being 7 p.m. 4.1, the ordinance to amend Chapter 204, noise. We'll start the meeting with all those in favor, in favor, in favor. The portion of the meeting is closed. All those in opposition, opposition, opposition. The portion of the meeting is closed. The motion to adopt by Councilor Janess, second by Councilor Yem. Questions or comments? Councilor Janess.
Just wanted to say thank you to the administration for your quick action on this. You know, the main impetus for this is the trash trucks picking up dumpsters at 4 and 5 in the morning, and you know, it's something we hear a lot. So hopefully this will help get the attention of those companies to play nice and play by the rules. So thank you.
Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Counsel Yem.
Yes.
Counsel Belanger.
Yes.
Counsel Chow.
Yes.
Counsel Dakota.
Yes.
Counsel Getchia.
Yes.
Counsel Janess.
Yes.
Counsel Mercia.
Yes.
Counsel Noom.
Yes.
Counsel Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor Rourke.
Yes.
Counsel Scott.
Yes.
11 yeas.
4.2, an ordinance to amend the fee schedule, falsified documents. His portion of the meeting, all in favor, in favor, in favor. The portion of the meeting is closed. All in opposition, opposition, opposition. That portion of the meeting is closed. Motion to adopt by Councilor Mercia, second by Councilor Noon. Councilor Mercia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was just wondering if we could have the Health Department Director, Lisa Golden. I just would like to know what they mean by falsifying documents. I don't understand what that means.
Ms. Golden?
Thank you, Mayor, Manager, Council. So this came in front of the Board of Health from the Senior Health Inspector. So what ended up happening was on a few of the inspections, when they went to some of the, do some of the health inspections, they found that when they were looking at some of the documentation and looking at it on the wall, so the Surf Safe inspections, the exhaust hood inspections, the allergen inspections, the ANSOL system tag. So in case anybody doesn't know what that means, it's if there's a fire in the kitchen, that's what comes down and puts out the fire, or any of the city permits that are up. So in January, you have to get your permit to have your food inspection. People were actually falsifying those permits and saying that they had current permits that they did not have. And the inspectors had actually picked up on it, and they could not issue a fine related to that. So they came to the Board of Health and asked if this is something that they could issue a fine for, but that is not under the purview of the Board of Health. So we actually are bringing that forward to you because you guys are the only ones that can issue a fine for that.
And is there such a thing as a number 24, changing that number on the fire extinguisher? Anything about that?
Oh, so what would happen is, like, say if there's, like, it was supposed to be done in, like, 2024, they would pop out the 24 and put it for 25, that it would be, that it was done in the year of 25, just because they didn't want to pay to have the company come in and do it. So they had faked that someone had done it. Mr. Machado knows. He used to be an inspector, so he knows. So they had actually done it very creatively. And I mean, I completely understand why this is done. It's very expensive to have these things done, but if you have a restaurant full of people and something really hasn't been inspected correctly, the restaurant's going to catch on fire.
Because those fire extinguishers, they expire, don't they?
Correct.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, they have to be tested to make sure that they're good. Yep.
How long do they last, like a fire extinguisher? Do we know that?
Mr. Sheehan's here. He may know. He may be able to save me. Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Manager, Council. So fire extinguishers are good for 1 year.
Oh, 1 year.
Anti systems are good for 6 months. Fire extinguishers are good for 1 year.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know that, so thank you.
Councilor Yam?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have two quick questions. Are those inspection happen on the same, like the end of the year, every year at the same time, or staggered? And the reason I'm asking the question is a business owner, it is expensive, you acknowledge that, but if you can stagger up the, inspection expiration date so that it would not happen all 3 or 4 permit or license things like that at the same time, because it can be costly. So that's my first question. So go ahead then.
All food inspections are done every 6 months.
Every 6 months?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. On January the 1st or on June the 1st?
It all depends on when the restaurant or the food establishment was open.
Okay.
So we'll do it on the opening date,
Right.
and then 6 months after that.
Okay.
And if a complaint comes in, then we have to go and field the complaint.
Okay, thank you. And in addition, my second question is, I'm hoping that the city will then send out the changes in the law so that all the business owner entity are aware of the penalties if they continue to falsify their documents.
Yes, Councilor. If this is adopted tonight, this will be page 2 of the food packet that every business will come in. They will see this right away.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Getchia?
Through you, Mr. Mayor.
I thought you had laryngitis.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I thought you had laryngitis tonight.
You told me I couldn't speak. Through you to the city solicitor, do you know how long that Mass General Law has been in place that you can only cap it at $500? Because to me, when someone's that deceitful, $500 isn't enough. I don't care. I don't even think you even have to notify. I wouldn't notify anybody. You're a thief in my eyes if you do something like that, and you're putting people at risk. And I just wonder when the last time that was adjusted from the Mass General Law.
Solicitor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't know how long that one's been in place. Coincidentally enough, this one actually is more than, typically we can go with the 300. I agree with you. 1,000, 2,000, I think all of those would be more appropriate than 500, but we're sort of bound by this particular statute. I had made this suggestion, I forget, it was Councilor Robinson we were speaking about. If a particular issue like this, if this is something that the body felt strongly about, it's, it could come in the form of a home rule petition or special legislation, put it together and say, this Lowell City Council believes that this fine should be higher than 500 and see if we could get authorization that way.
I'd like to make a motion that we, I'm sorry, City Manager Golden, did you want to say something?
Ms. Golden, wants to say something?
Sorry, Ms. Golden.
We actually, if there's a problem with one of these things, we actually have the opportunity to close the establishment. So rather than giving them, once they get the fine, if they've done this, we actually have the opportunity to close the establishment as well. And if they continue to do this, we could actually pull them in front of the Board of Health and pull their food permit. That is extreme, but we could close them, and that would hit them harder than the more extreme amount. So we do have some other things that we could do. Sorry to interrupt.
One of my other questions to you, Ms. Golden, is it for each piece that they actually do it to, or is it just for the entire place? Because we know there's hoods, we know that there's other pieces in there that they can do that to. Is it for each one that they falsify, or is it for the establishment during that one inspection?
That's going to be for the solicitor. I don't know if it's a maximum of 500.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, so it's for each piece. So that total, it's 500 per occurrence. So theoretically, if there are 4, 5 separate instances where they have done this with falsifying the documents, it could be 2,000, 2,500.
Because a lot of places have more than one hood, the ANSIL system and stuff like that. So it's going to be, it could be expensive on that. Okay, thank you.
Roll call. Oh, of course, Councilor Robinson, good.
I just would like to say thank you to the Health Inspectional Services for, again, I think this is very important to see that our employees took notice of something that was going on. They realized that that tool that they needed wasn't available to them. And thank you to the Health Department for bringing this forward. I think this is great to see, work through the chain of command up to the council and bring it to our attention, and we'll do whatever we can to give the employees the tools they need. So thank you very much.
Roll call, clerk.
Counsel Yem.
Yes.
Counsel Belanja.
Yes.
Counsel Chow.
Yes.
Counsel Dakota.
Yes.
Counsel Getchia.
Yes.
Counsel Janess.
Yes.
Counsel Mercia.
Yes.
Counsel Noon.
Yes.
Counsel Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor Rourke.
Yes.
Counsel Scott.
Yes.
That's 11 yeas.
Returning to the agenda, communication from the city manager, 6.1. We could take A and B together. Mr. Rosenberg is here. Motion response A, improve voter turnout. Motion response B, preliminary review, both by Councilor Noon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Managers, and particularly Mr. Rosenberry, directors of election department. The report, the first motion response, very detailed. I'd like to see if you can tell us, particularly the viewer at home, what you've done to, increase voter turnout.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Councilor. So yes, we have taken many actions to increase voter turnout, and I am hopeful that these actions will bear fruit. So we have done things such as engaging voters by, first and foremost, we had reported on this earlier this year, engaging on a communications plan with CASE to maintain a regular cadence of events with putting out press releases and social media as well, and we've been embarking upon that. There's a social media outpost today, for instance. We have been constant presence at various community events around the city, ethnic festivals here on the plaza. The Puerto Rican Festival is one of those that comes to mind. We were at the Volunteer Fair a few weeks ago. We have tried to be at every fair and festival that we're able to be at. More recently, we did this before the preliminary, and we're continuing to deploy A-frame signs. We have them at train stations, at various high-traffic intersections with a QR code, the election dates. They're fully trilingual, giving information, linking to our website where you can find information about this election. DPW recently deployed the MMB boards with a message flashing at various intersections around the city with a message about the upcoming election. Tomorrow I'll be on the radio, I'll be on Inside Lowell. I'm doing some interviews on LTC and some Spanish and Khmer programs, trying to get those off the ground and organized. We worked with nonprofits. We spoke at the Celebration for Democracy a few weeks ago, or back before the preliminary. I think we made a lot of improvements to our website and our web presence. We recently rolled out text alerts and email alerts that you can sign up and receive from the election department. And I think we've seen a marked increase. We have more ballots, more mail-in ballots have been requested than were requested in 2023. We actually have more in the vault currently than were even cast in 2023, with over 300 mail-in ballots already cast. Clicks to our website have increased as well. I've looked at the Google Analytics for our website over the last 3 years, and we're well over even 2024 being a state election, state primary, so I think our web presence is getting out there. So I think we've done a lot, and I'm hopeful that we're going to see decent turnout in this upcoming election. Unfortunately, the nature of the preliminary, it was almost 9% turnout across the 3 districts. It was disproportionate, with higher turnout, for instance, in District 3, but I'm hopeful that we're going to see across the city a marked increase in turnout this year.
So the information in terms of reaching out to various nonprofit organizations through press release, through show, and putting message out there, are those message and information in other language or just English?
Yes, we've been working with these partners to get it out trilingually in all languages. We've updated all of our signage. Our website is translatable. And we are going to be hopefully being able to get on some Khmer and Spanish language programming. We've prepared some sort of a scripted informational interview to try and get information out to those folks who don't usually get it.
Thank you. With the second motion response issues and concern, I'm particularly interested in inactive voters. What are the percentage of inactive voters that we have on the list as a now?
Sure. I don't have an exact percentage, but I'm going to suggest that it's like in the 50% neighborhood. It's very, very high, okay? And we've been working, especially with the nonprofits, to try and bring that down. It has come down. We are sort of comparable to cities similar to ours in both, size, demographics. One challenge that we have that I think leads to a large volume of inactive voters is the college. So we've got a lot of folks who come on to the list in advance of an election. We have automatic voter registration, so anytime you get a license in the city, you come on to the list. Ultimately, those kids, at the colleges, they either don't return and they change their address and don't update their records. So, that is something you see in cities such as ours that have colleges and transient populations. The number is too high. Our poll workers, however, are prepared for this. I just want to be clear that inactive voters are registered voters. They just didn't respond to the census this past year. They are still registered voters in the city, and they can still vote. They just simply need to affirm that they still live in the city of Lowell and show identification with a current address, not necessarily driver's license, but a driver's license acceptable, but something like a utility bill or a rent receipt would something be acceptable too, to get back on the voters list and be able to vote in the election.
You indicated that the number of inactive voters would reduce, and what step is taken to reduce that or to make those inactive active again?
Yeah, so working with the nonprofits to engage with the inactive voters, we have a sort of a newly designed form that we've provided to nonprofits and campaigns to go out there. If you encounter an inactive voter, they can fill out the form, file it with our office. It's also on our website, of course. We are going forward. We hope to have a better, more enhanced census that is going to attract more attention in the mail when it arrives in your mailbox and hopefully get a higher response rate.
You also indicated in your report that is the inactive voters have, there's a process, at least 2 opportunities to make it active again. So suppose they don't follow those 2 opportunities provided to them, can they, at the election night or day, can they come to the poll, and then what do they need to do to make it suitable?
Right, so that is exactly it. So inactive voters, like I had said, they are registered voters. When they arrive at the polls to check in, they're flagged as such, okay? And the process is that our poll workers are well trained on this. That inactive voter, before they're given their ballot, they just have to fill out paperwork swearing that they still live here in Lowell, just as they would have on the census. And then at this point, we also do require current identification. But again, current identification, it might be a driver's license, but it's also something like a utility bill or a rent receipt, something, a printed material with the voter's name and address on it. So then they are immediately allowed to vote after providing ID and filling out that affirmation. They're given a ballot and allowed to vote. After the election, they are then restored to the active voters list.
So assuming that I'm an active voter, tonight I'm going out to vote, I only have my driver license. I don't have my electrical bill and all the other things. Is it possible to still vote and then provide that later at a later date?
So right, if you do not have identification with you, you are actually, and you are an inactive voter, you are still permitted to vote. There is a process that the poll workers have to follow. It is to challenge that voter's ballot. That vote is ultimately still cast. The voter's eligibility to be voting in that election only comes up in the event of a recount. We would be able to identify that ballot and investigate that voter's qualification. But once they sign that affirmation under the pains and penalties of perjury that they live in Lowell, regardless of whether or not they're able to provide identification immediately, they are permitted to vote. It is just a challenged ballot.
I do appreciate you very much in hearing the response from you and the step taken, and I'm confident that if not this coming election down the road, we can see a higher voter turnout in the city of Lowell. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Councilor Janas?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Rosenberry and his staff. As he mentioned, they've been out at many city events. I've seen them and had some good conversations, and I think that's going a long way towards getting people involved and aware of the fact that we have an election coming up, and that's great. I also wanted to just take a moment to mention that this Saturday, October 25th, is the registration deadline to be able to vote in the November 4th election. So if anybody out there is watching and is not registered, you still have time to register to vote, and you can do that online. You can do that by coming to the elections office at City Hall. And so I just wanted to mention that. And there was one question I had for you, Mr. Rosenberry, which was just in the discussion of the issues around the preliminary election. There was a line that stated that this was the first time we'd had preliminary elections under the new system for district races. In 2021, we had some prelims. So I just didn't know if we were talking about with the new voting locations or the whole new structure we have.
So sure, thank you. I may have been mistaken, but I believe it was the first time we've had one in only districts where we didn't simultaneously, for instance, I believe in 2021, and you folks might know better than I, that there was also a preliminary for the at-large seats as well.
Got it, okay.
So that was a difficulty to communicate to those voters in those wards that didn't have an opportunity to vote on September 9th. We're going to try and do better about, education about our system, it happening again, and we want to have some signage, at least on polling place doors, so that people show up at a polling place to find they're not voting that day, they'll be informed rather than having to call us.
Excellent. Once again, thank you to you and your staff. I know it's a ton of work to pull off an election, and you're going to have another one out of cycle. But we appreciate all the work that you guys put in, including the poll workers who come and make sure things run smoothly on the day of. So thank you very much.
Councilor Young?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, through Mr. Rosenberry, I just want to thank you again for all the work it's been done by you and your staff and the volunteer, particularly at all poll locations. My question on inactive voters who either online register to vote by mail or fill out a form and then return to the city. are they gonna, their application to vote by mail will be accepted? Because on it, they have to sign before they mail back the ballot. How does it work?
That is correct. So essentially, in lieu of confirming your residency and writing to us, which is that form that we now have available, yes, other ways to become active are any time that you sign a petition or nomination paper. So for instance, we are right now certifying petitions for ballot questions, so any inactive voters who have signed that will become active. Additionally, yes, Counselor, anytime you apply to vote by mail or apply for an absentee ballot, you become active as well.
My second question is that as a candidate, we are bombarded with many solicitation, either mass mailing, and recently we received a lot of text message by the company who offer text messages to all the voters in particular cities and town, in particular like District 7, for example. My question on that is that I know that we did not have the fund in the election department. Maybe next year, will the elections office, utilize that kind of tech services to remind voters that the voting is this day, or the deadline to register to vote October 25th, and then with the QR code or with the link. So if I receive the text and I say, oh shoot, yeah, I need to register, so I can just click that link or things like that and then register right there on the spot. Do we have that yet this time around, or will it be next cycle?
Sure. So we don't have that in the sense that like a marketing tool, and I know you can pay, and you can pay some amount of money, and it'll blast a message out to phone numbers in a particular area. A few weeks ago, I think it was Councilor Janess had mentioned perhaps we can get my office a marketing budget, and that might be something that we look at, that or digital advertising. So we don't have that right now, but if the money and the technology were to be made available to us, it's something we could do. We have, however, launched an opportunity for folks to visit our website and sign up to receive a text or email. So, for instance, on Monday, and we have a number of folks who have signed up. On Monday, the Senate special election was called at around 11:45. A text message went out before noontime, alerting folks of the dates as well as the availability of nomination papers in our office. So folks can visit lowellma.gov/elections, and you can sign up to receive text and email alerts directly from us. We'll try not to bombard you, but we'll give you information. For instance, one will go out when early voting is beginning. One will go out reminding folks of the voter registration deadline, that it is election day, etc.
Well, I appreciate that, and I think it's one good good step in the right direction. However, some of my constituents who does not speak English, who's not using the website, so they may not be able to get into the website to register. However, if we do a blast text, they all have cell phones, so they can receive it right there and then to remind them to register or to know the deadline. So. Thank you.
Councilor Dakota?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a suggestion, Mr. Rosenberry. I did receive a few calls from some constituents that they were confused. Some ballots I know that had two blackened candidates, and they thought they could pick two for the final election. I'm wondering maybe when the ballots are handed out that we tell them only pick one, because some of them did not. I know for sure that it was at least a dozen.
Right. Okay. So I think what you're referring to is people who may have believed in the preliminary that they could have voted for two.
Right.
Yes. There are instructions trilingually on the ballot. Vote for not more than two. But I did anticipate that confusion, and I think we could do better on the education portion of that.
Thank you very much.
Councilor Marcia?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In keeping up with Councilor Janess' thought about Saturday, October 25th, it is the beginning of early voting, isn't it? At the Smith Baker from 7 in the morning till 8?
Not the Smith Baker, but the senior center.
The
Yes.
Senior Center. I'm sorry. The senior.
Yes, correct.
That would be next, Councillor.
Yeah,
That would be
wait a
next.
minute. Senior Center. Not there.
Not yet, but if the space became available. Yes, so Thank you, Councilor. Yes, so as Councilor Janess indicated, yes, Saturday, 5 p.m. is the in-person voter registration deadline. So if there are folks who need to register or update their voter registration to their new address, they can come to City Hall. We'll be open until 5 p.m. for that. Alternatively, they can go to registertovotema.com and register to vote online up until midnight, actually. Saturday is also the beginning of early voting at the Senior Center, 276 Broadway Street. We will be there from 9 to 5 on Saturday. We will resume on Monday, 9 to 3. Tuesday, we're there 9 to 8 p.m. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll be there from 9 to 3 again. So many of opportunities to vote. Let me also mention the last day, if you wish to receive a mail-in ballot, the last day for us to receive your application is on 5 p.m. Is at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, October 28th. So we must either receive your paper application or your online application. You can request a mail-in ballot at mailmyballotma.com.
Great, thank you.
Councilor Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to see whether or not there had been any update on the online census, the ability to respond online.
That's something we have a vendor that has been working on that. We are working on finalizing like the language that you'll see on the click-through screens. This is a vendor that has done it in a handful of other municipalities. I think ours will be the first like fully trilingual one, but that should be available January by the time the census is going out. Yes.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, moving on, motion response C, inspect and secure downtown pavers. Councilor Janess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the manager, I appreciate the work that's gone on here. When I saw this response on the agenda, there were a couple loose ones that I knew about that I went and checked on, and they'd either been repaired or patched, so I do appreciate that, but I will keep looking for more. If I find any, I'll let you know. One of the big reasons I brought this up was the tripping hazard of having these loose pavers. The other tripping hazard that I think you and I have talked about a couple times that I'd like to see us put a plan together is the posts from the old meters or the old numbered parking spaces where they were cut off. Some of them, there's an inch or 2 inches of metal that's still there. And particularly in the winter when you get some snow out there, they disappear. I know a few people who've told me that they've tripped and fallen on them. So if we could put a plan together to go out and grind those down, you know, even if we're just doing a few every week, every other week, whatever the pace needs to be, I think people would be very appreciative of that. And connected with that, there are still some of the posts that are still out there. Central Street, I know, had a few because we had that area blocked off with the bridge and the construction when we took them out. So there are a few that are still around and can come out as part of that project too, just to mention. But thank you for the work, and you know, I look forward to the continued improvements.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through the council. Councilors, I just want to introduce Rennie Carroll, the Assistant Commissioner. It's here tonight just to say hello, so everyone recognizes him. Rennie just joined us a few weeks back. The Commissioner St. Cyr, unfortunately, is home right now. So Rennie, in his first event here at the council, is just learning about this and just wanted him to have an opportunity. So I know he knows all about this and been working very hard over the past 3 to 4 weeks, getting caught up in all of this, but I just wanted to give you the opportunity to meet Deputy Commissioner of DPW. Thank you, Mr. Carroll.
Motion response D, solid waste and recycling issues at Lowell Public Schools. Councilor Robinson.
Thank you. Thank you for the motion response. I'm glad to hear that it's been straightened out, and it pretty much makes sense to me with the overpass. It's out of abundance for caution. I'd rather hear they were hesitant about crossing under instead of hearing that they caused damage to the structure. So thank you very much.
Motion response E, maintenance on River Berm. Councilor Janess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Once again, through you to the city manager, thank you for getting that work done, and I appreciate the note and the response that we're going to put a plan together going forward, working with the Army Corps just to make sure that somebody's maintaining it on a regular basis. It's an important part of the neighborhood, and I know folks would like to see that maintained going forward. So once that discussion happens and we have some kind of final plan, if you could just let us know what that plan is, just so we're all on the same page, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Motion response F, 110 First Street Boulevard, reconsideration, Mass DOT reconfiguration. Councilor Robinson.
Thank you. Again, thank you for sending off the letter. I know it's beyond our control. If there's any recommendations that come forward from the administration or solicitor's office, someone else we might be able to contact if we don't get any kind of response and no one doesn't want to put a set of eyes on this. I mean, there is a real concern about potential problems occurring as a result of these actions. So again, any recommendations coming forward, we're all ears. Thank you.
Councilor Getchia.
Thank you, Mayor Rourke. Through you to Manager Golden. Has this letter already been sent out?
Mr. Machado.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It has not been sent out yet. It'll be sent out tomorrow.
All right, because I didn't see a date on it, so I'm like, I wonder if they got back to you already and we didn't know.
No.
Thank you.
Motion response G, repairs to fencing, Aiken Street Bridge and VFW in Centerville. Councilor Robinson.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we're all aware. I've seen it, and I'm glad to see that you're going to take it a step further and put something long-term preventative to help, because, I mean, that could be a dangerous situation. Thank you very much.
Motion response H, double polls. Councilor Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Did they give you any time? I just wanted to find out through you to the city manager if they gave any timeline at all on removing them.
Mr. Machado.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No timeline as of now. I know they've started the process, as you know from further motion responses, that each utility has to take off what their property is. I've tried to push them. I told them this is a priority, and I can try, as soon as I get a schedule or a timeline, I can get that to you.
Yeah, if you could, I know in the past, I mean, it wasn't until a lot of pressure was put on them to do this through Council Leahy's many efforts with the double polls. I remember at one point they stopped approving permits when they came in front of the board, if I remember correctly. So I don't want it to go that far, but they do need to move forward with this and get rid of them. Thank you.
Motion response I, drug-free rules in city parks. Councilors Robinson and Getchia. Councilor Robinson, good.
Thank you. Thank you for this. I'm glad to hear. I didn't know how the conversation potentially could go. It's encouraging to see that the conversation went well. To see, I mean, sometimes just even finding out what other communities that are challenged with similar challenges are trying to do. What's their train of thought? What are they hearing? Some of the practices that they're looking at. It's encouraging to see that they do have similar challenges as we do, especially with close proximity to size as we have. And I think anything we can do to support these efforts, again, I think both communities are dealing with an identical issue here. And I agree. I hear from many people that there has been a rise, as Springfield has recognized, there has been a rise as a result, unintended consequence of some reform. So I think this is something we as a body should keep our eyes on, and I'm very happy to see that a relationship was established with a community similar to ours, where we can spitball ideas off each other and try to figure out what's the best plan of attack on all this. Thank you.
Councilor Getchia.
Thank you, Mayor Rourke. I thank the city solicitor also, because I think it is important to have conversations from different communities. I'd like to also make a motion requesting the city solicitor draft a similar resolution demanding the Massachusetts legislature amend Mass General Law, Chapter 94C, Section 32J, to restore controlled substances proximity protection for schools, parks, and playgrounds in Lowell.
Second.
Thank you.
Councilor Jess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate the response, and I definitely appreciate looking towards other communities and you know, working from best practices here. So look forward to that discussion on the resolution. But I did want to note, just in the memo on the response, under the subject line, it says motion response September 14th, 2025, Councilor Janess, Councilor Gitcher. I think it was Councilor Robinson, not me, and we didn't have a meeting on the 14th. So I just wanted to flag that just for completion's sake. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions on the motion on the floor? All in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 6.2, information report. Markley Group, Mr. Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through the council. Council is, at this time, the Markley Group has withdrawn their application. So as it states in the informational, there will not be obviously a public hearing in the future and at this point, and no longer pending application before the council.
Mr. Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For you, I guess, to the city solicitor, I just had questions from residents just asking about their ability to withdraw the permit like this, how, like with planning, you're not able to do that, the planning board. If you could maybe just kind of explain the process and if there's any way that, you know, that this stipulations can be put on that you can't just come withdraw. Like, you know, it's a lot of time and effort that's spent on things like this by the residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sure. So I guess to start with planning, there is, as you referenced, a carve out in the statute that governs, you know, any ordinance change that goes in front of the planning board. That if you go in front of the planning board and you do not get a favorable decision, or after you've submitted your application for a change in zoning, if you withdraw it, that is considered an unfavorable decision. And when that happens, there's a 2-year ban to go back in front of the planning board for that same sort of ordinance change. Now, with the application to amend the license for the underground diesel storage, it's governed by a separate statute, 148, Chapter 13. And in that statute, there isn't any language about how many times someone could withdraw and apply. Now, these are pretty few and far between, so they don't happen with much frequency. So I can't imagine the scenario happens all too often. But theoretically, at least as the law is written, someone would be able to withdraw, reapply, withdraw, reapply. And I think the third part of your question, is there anything like the city could do perhaps to maybe mirror the statute as it applies to the planning board? I'd have to dig into that a little bit. My only concern would be that it's not specifically in the statute, so I wouldn't want to run into any issues where we become so restrictive that it sort of runs afoul of the law itself. But I can't say that for sure. I'd like to dig into that a little bit further. But in terms of Markley's application, yes, they were able to withdraw that application. And as the city manager alluded to, there would be no reason to have a public hearing because there's actually nothing for you all to vote on.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Yam.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, I want to find out when they withdraw the application, what about all the requests that the councillor and the resident ask of Markley to do? For example, to mitigate the water collection around their property. That's one. Two, the noise, the odors, and all of that. Are they need to do to comply with all of that request by the resident? Maybe Mr. Manager can answer that. So, or the solicitor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So at this point, with the application withdrawn, no, they'd be under no obligation to do any of those things. However, I think it stands to reason that they're going to need to come back in front of this body to amend this license at some point. And if they do, that would be the time that the city council could, you know, as they're taking the application under consideration, to bring up all of these issues that came up this last time and sort of put forth your expectation of what you all would like to see done before they were to get this license amendment.
Okay, thank you. If I may follow up on the next question, is that what of all the things that we said as a councillor and the resident, we do not want to send a negative message that the city of Lowell are not pro-business. We are pro-business. However, we want the business like Markley to be a good neighbors with the resident. And that's the thing that bothers me the most, that they came to the city gave them the tip for 20 years, and then they kind of ignore the resident who have spoken with them. On top of that, we request that they work with our the director, and her comments at the subcommittee meeting that she learned about it the same time as the councilor learned about it. This is the arrogant part on the Markley, and we do not want any business who come to Lowell to do business, receive tax credit from the resident, from the city, to be playing this kind of game. And we do not want it if you continue, if you do this kind of business in Lowell. We want to help the businesses. We want to grow businesses. We want to attract businesses to the city, and that's why the city council, the city administration, give them the tax credit, and they should work together. Number 3, the city of Lowell has this goal to be carbon neutral by 2040. So continue to use diesel does not meet the city
Councilor Young, it's
goal.
probably better off
Thank
for a
you.
Markley representative, not for the solicitor.
I understand. I'm just making comments, sir. I'm not.
Editorial should be saved for the Markley people.
Yes, I'm just making comment so that people at home watching it understand that where we are and where I am on the issue of Markley. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Motion to accept the place on file by Councilor Robinson, second by Councilor Noon. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 6.3, communication, resignation of Gerard P. Lage from the Cemetery Commission. Motion to accept the place on file by Councilor Mercia, second by Councilor Robinson. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Councilor Getcha.
Mr. Mayor, if we could send Mr. Lage's family a sincere thank you, and maybe we can bring the family here at a future meeting and say thank you in person.
You can,
Thank you.
the mayor's office will take care of that.
All right, thank
Thank you, Councilor Getcha. 7.1, already taken care of. Section 8, ordinance from the city manager. 8.1, ordinance to amend chapter 222.23, supervised drug consumption sites. This is the first reading for a public hearing on November 18th, 2025 at 7 p.m. The motion to refer by Councilor Robinson, second by Councilor Yem. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Section 9, reports of the subcommittee. 9.1, transportation subcommittee, October 21st, 2025. Chairman Dakota next week.
Next Tuesday.
You got it. 9.2, wire inspection reports. 1, National Grid. 2, National Grid. 3, National Grid. 4, Boston Gas. 5, Boston Gas. All, a motion to accept and adopt the accompanying orders by Councilor Noon, seconded by Councilor Yem. Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 10 petitions. 10.1, miscellaneous. Syed Pashock request removal of handicap parking sign at 113 Bellevue Street. Motion to refer to Transportation Department engineer for report recommendation by Councilor Mercia, second by Councilor Belanger. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Section 11, announcements. Councilor Yem.
I just have a quick comments regarding the four-way stop that being implemented today at the corner of Mount Vernon and Cross Street, and I want to thank the city and engineer department for doing this and reduce the hazard and the accident at that intersection. I appreciate it. Thank you, and the residents also are very happy. Thank you.
Councilor Robinson.
Thank you. I'd just like to remind the residents to come down and join in on Monster Bash and the Fall Fest, which is this Saturday. Over 35 candy stops this year, all ready to welcome trick-or-treaters. Saturday downtown, trick-or-treating is from 12 to 3 p.m. this Saturday downtown on October 25th. For more information, as well as the interactive map and the full event schedule, please go to www.likelowell.com/monsterbash, and all information is available as well as on the city's social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Robinson. Mr. Machado.
I just want to announce the MVC Cross Country Championship will be at Shed Park this Saturday. So catch a race and then go to Monster Bash. Have yourself a good day in the city. And there's a very special runner that I have in that race, Ella Machado.
You better have mentioned her.
Are you running?
By our DPD director, Ms. Baez-Rose. Go ahead.
I just want to remind people that Monday night, October 27 at 6:30, folks are going to be meeting in front of the Lowell Auditorium. The Lowell Sun signs have been refurbished, and that will be a lighting ceremony that evening. So again, 6:30, and folks are encouraged to meet in front of the auditorium to see the signs lit up.
Excellent. Motion to adjourn by Councilor Jeanette, second by Councilor Mercia. All say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Good evening.
Mr. Mayor, we left at 7:21 last week.